Hi, I'm Jordan Long, and today I'm going to talk about, something that usually happens. Well, it's not something bad that happens, but just the same, but it's something that happens, you know. Now, some folks are going to have this belief father take, "Oh, Jordan, you're running out of things to talk about." Yeah, well, no, I'm not. I will never run out of things to talk about. Okay? There's always going to be something going on in my life that I can talk about, or it could be funny about, all right? Or whatever. Never going to run out of things to talk about. So, you know, that's never going to happen. All right. So, there's always going to be someone out there that always asks you, what are you going to do after YouTube? Well, that is something that I do have an answer for. I'm never going to leave YouTube. I'm here for as long as YouTube's going to be around for. All right? And you hear folks say that all the time, like, but what they pick to do is their own business. All right? And then they're only going to say, "Oh, what about the oversight and all this and all that?" What? The followership oversight, the ownership oversight, they are what they are. All right? No, I'm not frightened of any of them. So no, that's not going to run me off. All right? And no, since I'm not a YouTube mate or anything like that, I'm not frightened of anything happening. All right? But that gets me to the grounds of this film. There are so many folks that become a YouTube mate that don't read up on everything before they do it. In their mind, they believe that if they're following the followership oversight, the ownership oversight, that should be good enough. But it's not. They also have to follow the YouTube mate oversight, the buyer friendly oversight, since now sellers are going to be buying showtime during, before, and after their films, or and a lot of them don't even read up. A lot of them think if they are a non-mate, YouTube mate, they believe they're not being looked at. But that's the unlike. When you become a YouTube partner, you get looked at. Okay? You truly have to do everything by the book. Well, you should be doing it by the book anyway. There's always somebody that always goes like this. They'll always be like, "I didn't know elephants couldn't be on here. I didn't know they were going to say what I was doing was wrong." Well, did you read up on every single thing before you became a YouTube mate? No. Well, that's what you should do. You should read up on everything before you become a YouTube mate. You shouldn't just, go into it and say yes to everything and then say you're in and then bitch later on about the oversight when you need to read up on it. Yeah, so many YouTube mates do, is that they'll just say yes, 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 and they won't read up on anything. But then as soon as something happens to their Fearway or their films, they will bitch. Like, "Oh, YouTube, you had no right to do that," or "YouTube, I didn't know you were going to be looking over my shoulder." you're going to be looking at my films after they became, before after they became after they were filleted. Or I didn't know that I had to that my films had to be buyer and shower friendly, buyer and seller friendly. Yeah, they basically just assumed that YouTube is just going, that Google or whatever is just going to give them gold each month, and that's the end of it. And in their mind, they believe that if they're following they're following followership oversight or ownership oversight, they believe that's good enough. Well, it's not. Man, maybe I should have read up on all the oversights with YouTube mateship before I actually gotten into it. Yeah, I think maybe you should do that. So many folks out there don't read up on anything. They just say yes, yes, yes. And that's the truth. You're right. Maybe I should read up on this YouTube mateship before I get into it. Yeah, you really do. There's so many folks out there that don't do that. They just, they become a YouTube business mate, whatever they want to call themselves. And then in their head, they just assume that they're saying yes, yes, yes to everything, and YouTube or Google or whatever isn't going, or Alphabet, whatever isn't going to actually do any of the things that's written down. Like they just wasted their time putting all that there. It's there for grounds. You got to read it. All right? I will never be a YouTube business mate. I'll never be a YouTube mate. That will never happen. But if I did, I would read up on everything before I said yes. Okay? You got to read up on everything. Just don't go there and say yes, 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 because I think that's what a lot of YouTube mates do. They just say yes, yes to everything, and then when they get then when they get told in their send that they're a YouTube mate, they just go, ha, I'm in now. And they don't even think about anything they said yes to, And then they start bitching about all the oversight, that if they read everything, they would know all the oversights. If they read everything, they would know what they can and cannot do. If they read everything, they would understand what was going on. But they don't do that. A lot of them don't do that. A lot of them just say yes, yes, yes. Then they become a business mate. And then when YouTube actually starts, then when there's some YouTube mate oversight, and there's a lot of them that YouTube actually does every day, they bitch. Well, how about you actually read up on everything before you say yes to it? Instead of coming on and bitching about this oversight and that oversight. Well, why don't you read up on all that shit so you would know all that crap, instead of being caught with your pants down like so many of you mates are? You're right. So many folks need to read up on YouTube mateship and all the oversights that go along with it, and not just go in there and say yes, 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 and then yes, yes, yes to everything, and then when they get told they're a mate, and then just go ha ha. They should actually read up on all that stuff before they actually say yes. Then they would know ahead of time all the oversights, everything that's going to happen, everything that's not going to happen. Yeah, I know, definitely. And if this makes some YouTube mates mad that I told them that they should read up on everything before they say yes to it, it's the truth. It's not YouTube's fault that you didn't read the YouTube mateship oversight before you said yes to it. Okay? It's not their fault. It's not their mishap or their mistake that you just went through and said yes, yes, yes to everything with not reading it before you did. And then bitch at them like they're doing something wrong when when they're doing oversight that you didn't take the time to read about beforehand. You know, don't be coming at me saying you're the beaten tier. You know, that you're being bullied or picked on by them as a YouTube mate. If you didn't take the time to read the YouTube mateship oversights, and you didn't take the time to learn all the oversights before you said yes to it, then you got no one to blame except yourself. You know, it's like getting a job, not asking anything about the job, but just being happy you got the job, and then learning everything, and then learning all the upsides and the downsides of the job, and you didn't ask anything about the job, what you're going to do in a job, what you can do in a job, what you cannot do in a job, what the oversights of the job is. You just said yes to it. Well, that's like the same thing. Only only you basically just said yes, yes, yes to everything. That would be like going on some business's website somewhere and just saying yes, yes, yes to everything, and then being happy when they took you in for a job, and then not asking anything and not reading up on anything beforehand, but then bitching at them about how the job is and how the oversight is when you didn't ask them anything and you didn't read up on anything. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.